Ever complimented someone so much they backed away like you just asked for their bank details? That's just one of 5 ways that Aussies and Americans hilariously misunderstand each other. And wait till you hear the reason behind number 3.
You better take cover.
Australian and American cultural quirks. We might seem alike on the surface, but there are some seriously baffling differences in how we do things. And all of it leads to confusion, a good laugh, and sometimes just plain bewilderment. I've gone past the usual stereotypes for this one and found several key ways that Aussies and Americans are worlds apart, from taking a compliment to their view on a day at the office.
Is there a favorite place for you? I have a couple that I love.
Woo! Sydney, Australia is probably...
That's Australia. Is
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Living to live and not living to work necessarily.
Yes.
Sometimes they take offense when I say that. It's like, what you think, we ain't got no job? But nah.
No, it's because we work 24/7 all the
For
time.
sure.
We don't really experience life sometimes.
And let's start with something simple, a compliment. Or is it? Nail something in America and you'll hear things like, you crushed it, you're a legend. Enthusiasm and open praise are totally normal. And talking yourself up is basically encouraged. But hop over to Australia and it's a whole different game. Thanks in part to tall poppy syndrome, bragging is typically a big no-no. Aussies downplay everything. Just got lucky, could have been better. Accepting a compliment too eagerly? Prepare for some teasing or a suspicious side eye. So when an American says, this car is awesome, you must be doing really well, an Aussie will probably mumble something like, yeah, got a good deal, yeah, it was a bit lucky, there's a few scratches on it, and try and downplay the whole thing. Americans typically see this as Aussies being too modest, while Aussies, on the other hand, think that Americans are a bit over the top. In the end, it's not rudeness, it's just 2 wildly different ways to handle success. And I've run into this difference quite often, and despite there being an expectation that you talk yourself up here, it's just something that I can't get used to. But just wait until you hear the workplace habit that nearly got me called into HR. Ever tell a joke to an American and get a confused stare? Or have your Aussie mate roast you and then buy you a beer? That's the comedy minefield of living between 2 worlds. I've experienced this firsthand and luckily avoided a please explain meeting, or so far at least. Aussie humour is basically a secret handshake, sarcasm, dry wit, and taking the piss out of everyone, especially your mates.
Culturally too, like they'll laugh at things over there that we don't laugh at.
Australia, do you find that?
Yeah,
I haven't noticed that
Australia
much.
is a fascinating place.
It is.
They're wild people.
If an Aussie gives you a hard time, that's usually them saying that you're all right. We'll say the total opposite of what we mean, deadpan, and expect you just to get it. Americans? Their humour is all about being direct, upbeat, and obvious. Big stories, big laughs, and you always know when something's a joke. Sarcasm is there, but it's not the default setting. Sincerity is way more common. And here's where it gets awkward. So Aussies might greet their best friend with, oh, look what the cat dragged in. Pure affection if you're from down under. But an American might think you're starting to fight. Meanwhile, an American's enthusiastic, heartfelt joke can leave Aussies waiting for the punchline that never arrives. It's like we're both speaking English, but our comedy subtitles are completely out of sync. So my tip on this one, be careful when saying no worries, especially to your regional manager from Mississippi. They just might think that you don't care. Finishing a meal in the US leads to reaching for your wallet and automatically adding a 20% tip. It's second nature. Servers rely on tips to make up for super low wages, so skipping the tip is almost like a declaration of war. That's why American service is famously attentive. Endless water refills, check-ins, and smiles, they're all part of the hustle. Now drop yourself back into an Aussie cafe. You leave a tip and suddenly the server looks at you like you just handed them a winning lottery ticket. In Australia, service staff get paid a real wage, so tipping is rare. And it's really only used for exceptional service. And maybe you might give a 10% tip if you're feeling generous. The vibe is a lot more relaxed, straightforward, no fuss service. This difference leads to some hilarious and sometimes awkward moments. Americans in Australia might think the service is too chill, wondering why their glass isn't magically refilled every 5 minutes. And Aussies in the States can feel bombarded by all the attention and totally confused about why tipping is even a thing. Even the history behind this is wild. Some Aussies still see tipping as being un-Australian, a leftover attitude from World War II days. And as an Aussie, that's the last thing that you ever want to be called.
Yes, I'm the best.
Congratulations, Gerald. But unfortunately, boasting is un-Australian.
Ever had an awkward Aussie-American moment, like accidentally offending someone with a joke or a tip? Share your funniest mix below. And if you're enjoying this journey into cultural chaos, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Now, Aussie slang is like English after a wild party. Sunburnt, a bit lost, and suddenly allergic to full words. Why say devastated when you can just go with Devo? Or definitely when Defo does the trick instead. Lappy for laptop or Rego for registration, and if you're suddenly nude, you're in the nutty. Some phrases sound like they were cooked up in a heat wave. She'll be right covers everything from no worries to the house is on fire, but let's not panic about it. Heaps good means things are really great because very just isn't Aussie enough to say.
Fanny? Fanny? In America, I think you guys call fanny like your bum is your fanny. In Australia, your front bum is your fanny if you're a girl. Esky, I think you call it a cooler. A cuppa, cup of tea. A dunny, it's a toilet. Sitting on the dunny, sitting on the toilet.
Americans, meanwhile, use full sentences like they're being graded by their English teacher. Picture an American tourist getting directions back home. Yeah, mate, just duck down to the bottler, grab some Starbies, hang a Yui, grab some snacks for the Barbie, and she'll be right. No doubt they'll look at you like you've just been handed a Rubik's Cube covered in Vegemite. When it comes to work and life, Aussies and Americans are playing entirely different sports. Australians are the reigning champs at she'll be right. Basically code for don't stress, the universe will sort it out. Probably after lunch, and if I'm lucky, I'll get a nap as well. In Australia, you're expected to use your annual leave. And the right to disconnect law means that after 5 p.m, your boss can email you all they want, you just won't see it. Americans, meanwhile, treat work like it's a competitive sport, and the trophy is more work. Rise and grind isn't just a motto, it's a way of life. Vacation days are hoarded like rare Pokemon cards, so precious that you never actually get to use them. In the US, sending a 10 p.m. email is normal. In Australia, that's grounds for an intervention. Americans want to move the needle and circle back. Australians just want to move the esky closer to the Barbie. It's not that Aussies are lazy though, unless you count our approach to ironing work shirts. But we just believe that work should fund your life, not become your life. Americans seem to think you should live to work, and if you're not hustling, are you even breathing? So take it from someone who's been through the corporate ringer in both countries. In America, work-life balance is a myth. It's like drop bears or calorie-free Tim Tams. I once lost my annual leave because I was too busy working to take a vacation from working. So next time you see an Aussie chilling while an American is sweating over a PowerPoint, remember, it's not laziness, it's lifestyle. One side's got spreadsheets and the other's got sunscreen. And honestly, who's really winning that argument? Which of these Aussie-American quirks made you laugh or left you totally baffled? Drop your funniest mix-up, bonus points for barbecue fails or lost in translation moments. If you're keen for more expat chaos, hit subscribe and I'll see you next time. No worries. Or, in true American style, have a highly productive day. Hooroo, mateys.